Hey Maddie, I'm going to work a similar problem just to show you kind of how the graphing tool works with these exponential functions because it's a little bit different than what we're used to. And the question I'm doing, kind of similar to yours, I'm asked to graph f and g in the same system. Uh, Here f of x for me is 2 to the exponent of x and g of x is 2 to the exponent of negative x, okay? So I'm going to click and enlarge my graph, and as soon as I click on the exponential tool, we're gonna see that the system looks a little bit different, okay? So if I just click anywhere, just anywhere, it didn't matter, it automatically puts in this just basically like 2 to the x type of thing. It's what it puts in. And then we can maneuver things around here by using these sliders, okay? So 2 to the x exponent, well, if x was 1, 2 to the 1 equals 2, right? So we don't have any value at 0, but if x was 1, we should have a value over here at 2. And we can clearly see we don't get that, right? So here's where you can play with Desmos if you want. If you wanted to graph 2 to the x, you could definitely see what this looks like. Right now, 2 to the 1 is 2, so if x is 1, I should get a 2 right here, right at this point, right? X was 1, y should be 2, so I need to make my line go right through there. So, I mean, you can play around with this a bunch of different ways if you want to. I'm going to shift this. Let's try to horizontally shift it. So yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, okay, that's no good. A vertical shift, we could shift it up or down, maybe something like that, but that's pretty weird too, right? So maybe it's a bit of a stretch or a shrink. So if I can't shrink it anymore, what if we stretch it out a little bit? No dice either. See that? So I got to do something else now. I got to get this happening. Oh, let's change our base, because right now our base is at 10. So we'll put our base down to 2, and you can see right now this is beautiful. This is just 2 to the x. I have this point going right here, so I'm good to go for that. I've graphed 2 to the x. I can close this box now, and now I'm going to go back up and I'm going to click my exponential tool again, and I'm going to drive in another graph. So we have our yellow, or our blue one is our first one, that's 2 to the x. Now this yellow one, I'm going to make the base 2 again, and now negative x. So if I'm over here in positive x land and then I flip to negative x, this thing is going to reflect over the y-axis. So I'm going to click that button right here, and now this gives me 2 to the negative x. And again, if I'm thinking about this, 2 to the negative 1 exponent should be over here somewhere, right? So I'm going to save that up, and we should be good to go if I check that out. Okay, so that's how you can do that just by using the graphing tool. Now in my case, I'm asked to add the point of intersection, so I can just put that in as an ordered pair. By the way, for you, let me just refresh. I'll go to a different question. The one you were looking at also asked for the asymptote, right? So let's bring up another one here. Failing my homework, Maddie. Failing her, buddy. All right. So I'm going to get this wrong. I'm just going to put G in. I'll reload the question. Oh, failed her. Okay, similar question. Now again, I'm not asked this in this problem per se. I click anywhere. I'm going to make my base, let's say 2 to the x or whatever. That's great. Now you can notice that this has an asymptote, right? We're approaching the value of x equal to 0, but we're never really touching it, right? So I could go in now and click the dash line tool, and I can just click anywhere, maybe somewhere right on the x-axis like that. You can make it a straight line if you will. This question doesn't have that, but just use the dash line for your asymptotes. So I hope that helps, buddy. Your math is okay. Just check out, make sure you're using the sliders correctly. And if you ever want to go back to that exponential toolbox, just click on the line anywhere and it all pops up. So I can make it solid, click back on the line, and usually just change your base, right? And always verify with a few points. So here, if I'm doing like 2 to the x, I know that if x is 1, y's got to be 2. In this case here, this next question, I'm going to make that 8, right? And then we can go from there. I can put in as many lines as I want. So I hope that helps you navigate the graphing tool. Let me know if it doesn't help.